Good evening to y'all, and we're listening to Stupid Love Song by the Beautified Project, and in a minute you will know why. This is Radio 1 with our English-speaking show American in Yerevan, which is on air every Wednesday and Friday from 9 to 11 p.m. I'm sitting here in our studio with Rafi Petrosyan.
And I'm here with the lovely Ina MK.
Oh, thanks. And we're having our very last episode of this season, and to celebrate this occasion, we have decided to invite the most demanded and anticipated guest ever, songwriter.
We have had many requests.
Yes, songwriter,
I hear
lead
sarcasm
singer.
No, we have, it's true.
No, no way. Lead singer and founder of the Beautified Project, Andre Simonian.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, Andre
Good
Jan.
evening.
How do you feel tonight?
Great, it's a pleasure
So
to
far,
be here.
sitting there on the couch.
It's very cool in here. The colors, and also it's actually cool.
And
like
the
colder
weather.
than outside, so
Yeah.
it's perfect.
The studio is nicely air conditioned. Everywhere else is like just like sweating hot.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a nice break in here.
Oh, it's I know that you're coming back from your trip,
Yeah.
so thanks for accepting our invite.
Yeah, I
for
came
this.
for this actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Now I smell
when
sarcasm.
we're finished with this, you're coming going
Yeah,
right
yeah.
back.
It's my private jet is waiting.
That's what I was gonna say. So, could you please tell us, where are you from? Who are you?
Well,
where are you from?
where were you? I
I'm,
mean,
I'm the most anticipated guest.
Oh, we know that already.
Where I came from, yes.
Originally.
Oh, I'm Armenian. My grandparents are local Armenians who immigrated to Iran when Iran was a kingdom. And then when I was a kid, my family moved to London. I lived in London for 11 years.
And London is the capital of Great Britain. We all
Great
know
Britain,
that.
not United Britain anymore, but
Yeah.
and 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I decided to move to Armenia. After my grandfather died in Armenia, I decided to come and carry his torch and
Wow.
form an
Wow.
English rock band here.
Also, this was the main reason for you coming.
To carry his torch, forming the rock band and being recognized as a band wasn't planned as it was, but it happened kind of. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
this is
amazing.
cool. This is really good. And I think we're gonna have a little music break and chat with our guest without others listening. And then we'll come back with more questions prepared for you, Andre. Are you ready?
I am.
Great. Okay, let's go. Listening to It's a Little Late by the Beautified Project, but it's not late for our dear listeners to call because we're here till 11 p.m.
Yeah, so please, if you have any questions for Andre, give us a call. What's the number again?
560901. It's
was
time
very
for
quick.
you to memorize it. So please call, and if your dream is to chat with Andre Simonian
Or
on
nightmare.
air, or nightmare.
Make it come true.
And I think Rafi has a question for you, Andre.
Well, sure, I do. So, Andre, you just mentioned that you got off your private jet and you took a limo straight over to the Radio Von headquarters,
Yes.
so you can come down and speak with us.
Exactly.
And, so, where were you? You were on tour, or what was going on?
I was in Holland or Netherlands. I was on a promotion tour because we have a big concert on the 1st of October. It's Beautified Project and Turkish Armenian singer Sibyl. We have a joint concert together in a theater called Robo Theater, which is in Hengelo, a city called Hengelo in Holland.
In Holland.
Yeah. We went to 5-6 different cities. We promoted the concert by having presentations, presenting our CDs, our music videos, and chatting to people who have been following our music and some people who didn't know about us. They got introduced to our music.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What was there some kind of intention between your music and getting in touch with a Turkish artist and playing somewhere outside in the international community. I mean, what was the thinking behind that?
Well, Sibyl is an Armenian singer, but I got to know Sibyl through a music project that we did. It was called Melody for Harmony. So the concept of it was to create friendship bridges between two nations who have historic and political problems through the power of art. In our case, of course, it's music.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah,
I like that.
we actually recorded a song called "Don't Blame Me." It's about two nations not blaming each other, and we released a music video on it as well.
So it's about music breaking the conflicts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why Holland?
Why Holland? We play in so many different European countries, but Holland is a new addition to our tour. I mean, we've never played Holland before, and I was scared to see the venue. It's a big venue.
Like intimidatingly big.
Yes.
And there are a lot of nice coffee shops there.
Yes,
that
you can partake
visit.
in drinking coffee.
Coffee.
Quotation marks.
I don't like that type of coffee shops. I'm a boring rock musician. But it was funny. Huh?
It's normally the opposite with
It's
the rock, the rock musicians.
My friends tell me I'm a boring rock musician because I like to drink milk and sleep, but I sleep
at
late. But the funny thing was, like, the guy was asking about like a rider, like what we need on the stage, and when we tour Europe, we usually decide what type of a keyboard we're gonna use. In here, we had the option of, do you need a wall piano or a grand piano? We were like, ooh, okay. We'll go for a grand piano.
So you said that the band was formed in 2005.
Yeah.
Could you please tell us a little bit about the story, how you guys found each other?
Yeah.
And, how did it all happen?
The reason it's called the Beautified Project, because it was my solo project in London when I lived there. I used to play drums in a band called Gasoline, and I was writing songs much slower and melodic songs for my own project, the Beautified Project. I recorded a demo album called Serenades for Insanity, and I released it in 2005. But I didn't have any musicians. My friends were helping me to record it. Then in 2006, I moved to Yerevan. And funnily enough, a week later, I met the twins, Armin and Arlen, while watching football. The same games they're on now, 10 years ago.
Wow.
We
Football
were watching.
uniting people.
Yeah, football uniting people. They were screaming. They were next table to me.
And you can hear their beautiful voices as they were screaming at the
Nice
television.
screaming. I hear a nice screaming. Could you please scream again a little?
So they've been screaming for 10 years with me now.
That's great. That's awesome. And why English?
Why English? The concept was to have a band from Armenia representing Armenia
In the world.
Yeah, with international language. Something that we've never had before. I mean, all the Armenian people who are famous, they're Armenians from outside Armenia. We've never had an Armenian band representing Armenia who lives in Armenia. So yeah, when we released our first album, it was actually the first English language album released in Armenia by Armenian musicians. So we went down in history.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
And so by doing it in English, you're able to have more access to a bigger audience.
Of course, yeah. When we play in Germany, we hardly get any Armenian people coming to our shows. They're all Germans.
How would you know if they were Armenian?
Big
like
nose, dark hair. Something like a mirror.
Right.
With dark clothes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hairy chest.
And you can see that all from upstate on the stage. Huh?
Who is writing your lyrics, by the way?
I write all the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry
No-
to depress you.
Yeah, no chance. Okay, maybe a chance for cooperation someday.
Oh, you write lyrics
Yeah.
too? No, I said sorry to depress you because my lyrics is very depressing.
But it was right on the topic.
But we can definitely, collaborate.
Yeah, we could do that sometime. That'd be great. Well, right now we're gonna have a music break, and we're gonna listen to "Love of Your Life" by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Stay tuned and call 560-901 to chat with Andre Simonian.
In Yerevan.
American in Yerevan, and this is our very last show of this season. This is so sad, but at the same time, we're looking forward for our new seasons, new episodes, and I hope that we'll come back with fresh ideas, rested and full of excitement.
Yeah,
right?
I hope so.
Right,
I hope so
Rafi?
too. Yeah. But we're celebrating our final episode with a much asked for guest.
Yeah.
Mr. Andre Simonian.
This
from
is
the
our
Beautify
goodbye party
Project.
with Andre Simonian. Woo!
Yo.
Yeah. And so we understand you had a very multicultural background, very international upbringing as well, being raised in Iran, going to school in London, and then now you chose to come here to Armenia and live.
Yeah.
So what was that choice? What made you decide to do this?
I came to see my grandfather when he moved here when he was 97. So
97 years old.
yeah, because it was his dream. He said, if Armenia gets his independence back, I'm moving back. So
Wow.
that happened when he was 95-6. So
Wow.
it took him a year to pack and come. And I came to see him, and he asked me a question. He said, why don't you live here? And I was like, no, but I live in London. He was like, no, but what's the reason if you have your own country? Why do you live in London? And that question kept resonating in my mind for years. And finally, I came to see him every year, but after he died, I was like, one of his grandchildren should at least carry his torch,
What was his name? I'm sorry.
Andranik Simonian.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we say thank you to your grandpa, Andranik, who sent you back home.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I was. My father wanted to name me Andranik, but because we lived outside Armenia, my mom said, "Let's choose something similar, but
Something in between. Right?
yeah, something international."
Something international, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And so you have this, if I'm understanding right, you have this kind of a sense of responsibility to come back here to Armenia?
I think every Armenian who has good experiences living outside Armenia should come back and contribute somehow. You're doing that right now by, being part of this
Repatriation.
show.
I don't know. I think I am, but it wasn't a conscious decision for me to come over here and think that I was contributing to the country. I would see for myself, I'm an American Armenian, and always raised knowing that I am Armenian, but never encouraged to come to Armenia. It's
Yeah.
just something that I decided. I tell myself that I'm Armenian, and I tell other people that I'm Armenian, but I don't really know what it's like.
Yeah.
And that was my decision to come over here. It was kind of selfish, just to try to figure it out, see what Armenia is all about.
But
know?
are you
Yeah.
starting to feel what it's like to be an Armenian?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess after 3 years of being here,
In a good way?
in a good way,
or what?
absolutely, absolutely,
But you have your cultural input anyway.
right.
Just by walking in the streets in shorts and long hair, you have your own cultural
course.
investment in this country.
Just by speaking out during different shows and different
Yeah. Yeah.
advertisements.
Yeah, I guess you guys
etc.
are right. I mean, just being here, we're kind of influencing the culture,
course.
and I think it's always in a positive way too. It's bringing a little bit of change and new ideas.
Oh, we're starting to interview
you,
Rafi.
Oh no, I was speaking about
Thank you
for
for
all of
being
us.
here.
Andre John, so you're working more about your art, what you do, your musical art. So you're working on your fourth album, is
Yes.
that true?
Yeah.
Could
Mhm.
you tell what it's about? Some more pieces of
Yeah,
melancholy or
we when we formed
any
the band,
philosophy or
we thought we're gonna release an album every 2 years, but then after releasing our second album in 2010, our third album got delayed. It was released in 2013. Just about. It was almost 2014.
December 31st.
I think it was October something. And then now this fourth one is being delayed a lot, so we decided to push it and release it by the end of 2016. it's more like our second album, the style of the music. The third album was a bit too angry. This
Some
one is
protest.
yeah, this one is more mellow and it's more melodic. And I think it's. I always say let's release type of albums that if it happens to be our last album, we'll be proud of it. So, and by the way, I found out that no Armenian rock band has ever reached the fourth album.
Really, the fourth
Yeah,
album.
that's how good we are in teamwork.
Congratulations. Oh, that's the reason. You mean the reason if it was the fights and they fall
Yeah,
apart?
maybe
Army
or-
kids have a hard time kind of coming together for the fourth album. Huh?
coming
especially men, you know.
coming together. Also, like the ego situation. Sometimes, like they start so many solo projects, it ruins the band. I mean, I'm not against doing solo projects, but the good
The
thing
concept.
is, yeah, I mean, me, Armin, and Arlen, we are involved in so many different projects and different jobs, but we keep Beautified as a separate thing, and you know, it has a special value and place
Yeah.
in our lives.
Very
course.
nice.
Some more interesting information and questions about Andre when we come back. Right now, we're gonna have an advertisement break, and do not forget to call 560901. We're still here till 11 o'clock. Me and My Despair by the Beautified Project, and we have Andre sitting right now in front of us in our studio. We're enjoying our conversation with him, and you can watch us live on www.radiovan.fm. And not only you can watch us, but you could also call us. And
Yeah, you can talk to us live.
yes, you can talk to us live right on air for the last time during this season. So hurry up. Don't lose this chance. But we're getting back to our subject. And Andre, John, I have a question for you. Ta-da. If you could collaborate with an artist, living or dead, who would that be?
Difficult one.
The first one. And then there are a couple of more coming up.
Yeah. It's a very, very difficult question. I mean, I've collaborated with one of my favorite underground bands, which was Antimatter, and that was really a dream come true. But
Any new dreams?
any new dreams? I would like to collaborate with Dido. She's one of my favorite singers.
Does she still perform?
Yeah, she does, and it's kind of, I can imagine a duet. Like I love Amy Winehouse, but I can't see what kind of song we would perform together. But in case of Dido, I can actually write the song tonight.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's a big inspiration for him.
Yeah. I love her lyrics. I love her approach to songwriting.
Well, I have her phone number. And
Yeah. How much?
Okay, we'll speak about it after we have our show.
Well, so speaking about writing songs, what's the artistic process like? I mean, some of your songs can be quite dark or melancholy.
Yeah.
Do you? I can just picture you closing yourself off in a room, turning off the lights. You know, like what is that like?
Burning cats.
Cats and virgins. We have a caller.
Oh, but we have a caller.
Okay.
Hold on. We have to put on our headphones.
Oh.
Oops. Change their mind, maybe.
Oh.
Or
That's
no
the
luck.
She hung up.
wrong number.
Try
Yeah.
again. Try again.
Maybe she's a virgin. She got afraid.
Yeah. Or a cat. Yeah.
Yeah, please try again.
Yeah,
We're here.
please try again. We are expecting for your
waiting.
call.
Yeah.
We're waiting right here in the silence. Okay.
Okay, enough silence.
Okay, no silence. Well, what was your question?
Yeah.
The creative process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not a very artistic process. It's just
Eating a burger and
no. I mean, whenever I watch, I usually watch CNN, and I have my guitar next to me, so I just mess around with it. And if I get like a nice chord progression, I try to start singing on it with the lyrics that I kind of come up with at that second. And if I can't come up with anything, I open a notebook where I have a lot of lyrics written which is just the words without any music, and I try to put it on that
Altogether.
melody. And most of the songs are born after midnight, like at 2-3 a.m. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
always
a
like
great. I mean,
night
that's what I
hours.
say with like so many big concerts, music videos, and awards and all that. The sweetest thing is when a song is born, and I'm so happy if one day the band splits up or we're not, people don't like us anymore. I still have that sweet thing that I can write songs sitting on my bed or on my sofa.
Very nice. So
Yeah.
CNN is the influence then, right there. Like
Yeah,
that's
all the anarchy in the world.
Oh, do you have any hidden talents, Andre John?
Hidden talents.
Yeah,
I'm
other
a-
than the obvious
I'm a
ones.
great cook.
Oh,
Yeah, really, I am a great cook. All my ex-girlfriends were depressed when I was leaving them or they left me because they were gonna miss my cooking.
Were they dumping you or leaving you because they wanted to lose some weight?
Well, I can give you their numbers and
Okay.
you can ask them.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
no,
It's a
no
long
worries.
list.
Yeah.
Might be a while.
But I haven't had fat girlfriends.
Let's leave that. Okay, are there any phobias that you have? Darkness, hates, I don't know, elevators.
Big stages.
With being a musician, I stay in hotels maybe like 2 months of the year. Mm-hmm. And my phobia is dirty bed sheets.
Oh.
Yeah, you always think, have they washed these things or not? Even
Before-
if you're in the best hotel, you're like, the cleaner might have thought, it's clean, I'll leave this one.
And what
And-
do you do? Do you wash it?
No, I always open
Yourself.
it, have a look, and then
Yeah,
I
I do the
smell
same. I had to do the
smell
inspection.
the pillows. Yeah.
With a microscope.
Yeah, with that one of those black lights that you see on those detective
that's-
shows where they can kind of
That's
see.
for something else.
He has special equipment for hotels to investigate.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
Is
the
that
thing.
is that all?
Phobias?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all animals. All types of animals.
You love all animals.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah, where was that
cockroaches?
with phobias? Is there one that you don't like or?
I'm not a big fan of spiders.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree. I hate spiders.
Yeah,
I will
not
scream like a little girl if I see if I see a spider come next to
my
me.
Oh,
breathing
if
change.
Lilith was there, here, our friend,
Yeah,
you would have a little like a phobia fan
little phobia
club.
party. I was hoping you'd say she'd protect us by killing all the spiders.
What's
No,
it called?
because
Racophobia, I think, right?
Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia.
Arachnophobia. Yeah, she yells. She starts to yell and say, "I'm getting out of here!" So yeah, it's crazy, and she makes you kill all the spiders around. So,
But
she needs to see the blood.
but am I right? Isn't the spider like a luck charm here in
Yeah.
Armenia?
Yeah, you're not allowed to kill him.
You're not allowed to because they're the bringers of good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Money, for instance. Could you take a spider with you on a stage as a lucky charm?
On a stage with a little leash. like-
Spider on a stick.
No, thank you.
Okay.
No, I actually I can't kill them. I'm so disgusted. I can't kill them. So I have a plastic cup. Mm-hmm. I put it on top of it, and then I have this special technique where you
Oh
put
yeah, I
something
know.
on
I
it,
know
paper
what you're.
underneath.
and then it flies out of the window.
And
At my worst moment,
no lucky charms.
At my worst moment, I've actually killed a spider with a 2x4. Which is just basically a long piece of wood. I was across the room. I didn't want to get close to it, and I just started poking at it from across the room. It's
You've-
dead now.
You've killed the spider.
I've killed many
Killer.
spiders. I'm like the
You could never
Kaj
be
Nazar of spiders.
Did you kill the Spider-Man?
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No, he's still alive and kicking.
Oh, okay.
Superman
Web
is dead.
swinging.
So no lucky charms.
For
huh?
for stage.
Yeah, maybe for stage, maybe. Yeah, well, basically for stage, I think.
I have this chain that's hanging on my trousers for the past 10 years. And once I had forgotten it at home because I had washed my trousers.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like, oh my God, am I going to be able to perform?
No, really?
Like,
Oh.
it has nothing to do with performance, but I was so attached
Nervous.
to it. Yeah.
And it was attached to you.
Yeah.
So maybe sometimes it's better not to be attached to anything.
Yes.
I guess.
Because if you lose it, you kind of like panic.
Yeah.
But the
Just
show
have,
went on,
have a
right?
big ego and live with it. Yeah.
Oh, we're still here till 11 o'clock, and dear callers, especially the one who didn't make through, try again and again,
Yeah.
because we're
We've
waiting
had
for your
two
call.
callers now.
We
Yeah.
don't have any rituals tonight, so you can call.
No rituals. We're chatting with Andre Simonian, enjoying our evening. Stay tuned and call 560-901. Sona Rubenyan featuring the Beautified Project. Wait.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
Hi, Sona.
Hi, Sona.
Hi, Sona.
We're back in our studio, just a little sad because we're having our last episode, but it's also really, really interesting and fun to speak with.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not our
Andre?
last episode ever, right? We're
Yeah.
just going on a short little break.
You never know, you know.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, Andre.
I'm not the most optimistic person.
The break is not that short. Oh, we have a caller.
You know, anything can happen.
Right.
Okay, we have a caller. You want to
okay.
put your headphones?
Ready.
Hello, good evening.
Hey, I join your conversation, please.
Oh,
Yes, hello.
Irene.
How are you doing?
Oh, we're fine. How about you?
Hello.
We would be really, really sad if you didn't call us tonight for our
Let me ask you a
last
stupid
episode
question.
before our break.
Let me ask you a stupid question.
Please,
Really?
those are the best kind.
Go
Let's
ahead.
hear it.
Well, I can see we're having an English-speaking radio show this evening with an English singing performer. And
Yeah.
actually one of my favorite musicians.
Thank
Yes.
Not
yes.
only in Armenia.
you. Thanks.
Not only in Armenia, but also in the world.
Oh my God, thank you.
very
A
sweet.
musician who creates modern rock culture.
Hmm.
Let me say it once again. Modern rock culture.
Yeah.
Because, you know, nowadays there is a great problem. The truth is a lot of music lovers, rock music lovers, are still living in the 1970s.
Yes. Yes.
Either they don't know the contemporary bands, performers, singers, or they don't want to know, or they say, you know, we don't accept what the contemporary bands do, we don't get it. But it's, in my opinion, it's still important to have modern culture next to the old, next to the classic.
I totally agree with you.
You know, last time when Andre, by the way, Andre or Andre?
Andre.
Andre, none of
Accent
the,
is on
none
A?
of it.
Yeah, it's Andre.
Andre.
Yeah.
Yes. Last time when Andre was here, I called and had a conversation with him and Jacques.
All right, I know you.
Staying here, of course, I'm in your studio. And I remember then I said that my favorite song was and continues to be Some Promised Hope.
Yeah, yeah.
And if anybody asks me why do I love that song so much, I'm afraid I can't answer. Maybe because true feelings, true emotions have no explanation.
Yes, you're right.
Or maybe the song has very interesting musical structure.
It is very different from our other songs.
Yes. And so my question today is as follows. Andre Jan, does my favorite song have a special history? I mean, a history of its creation. Who's the author of that song? How did you create it? In one word, I wish I knew everything about that song. If you please, sir.
Do you like the music video to it?
Yes.
Okay, great.
That was my question.
Uh-huh.
And have a nice vacation in
Oh,
Rafi.
thanks.
Oh.
We're definitely gonna miss you, and prepare. Get ready, get your homework done with all the interesting questions with pieces of wisdom from Irene.
Oh my God. As I have already heard what I wanted, I guess I can hang up.
And yes, and we promise that we will put your favorite song tonight. Okay.
Some promise of? Thank you.
We promise we will put the promise.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye
for
bye. Have a
calling.
great
Bye-bye.
evening.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. Yep.
So, regarding what you said about Armenians Armenian rock musicians being stuck in the past, I totally agree, and I can't emphasize more. The reason those bands that Armenians love, like Deep Purple, Pink Floyd, The Doors, the reason those
Guns N'
bands,
Roses.
Guns N' Roses, the reason those bands were so amazing and so big was because they were pushing boundaries. They're pushing the music forward. And to live in 2016 and say there aren't any good bands now, all the good bands were in 1970
past, yeah.
or 80s, it's just wrong, because we have a responsibility to push the music forward too.
It's at least because I think people do not know.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bands that they don't even know.
And they don't.
Right.
The problem is they don't even want to know.
They don't look for them.
Yeah,
They're
because-
just feeling nostalgic. Right?
Yeah, and there was a time in Armenia that it was impossible to find out about new bands, because whatever the TV was presenting, you had to listen to that. But now there's internet, and you can search, you can educate yourself. So it really annoys me when people come and say after Led Zeppelin there is no good band. That's really like a stupid thing to say. Anyway, Some Promised Hope. It's one of those songs that the music was written by Armen Shaverdian, our guitarist, and I always tell Armen that the music you write ends up with my most weird lyrics, because I told you, for me, writing a song is a process of writing the music and the lyrics together. But when Armen gives me the music with la la la's over it, I have to sit and I mean you're a lyricist, you know exactly, yeah. So
most of the time
it's funny because I kind of focus on. Oh, there's a phone call.
Another phone call. You see.
Okay.
Okay, I guess
the
we'll get
next
back to your...
episode,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get back. We'll get back to the answer. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Who is this? Who are we speaking to?
You're speaking to Margarita, but you can call me Margot.
Hello,
Hello,
Margot.
Margot.
Yerevan.
Hello,
From
Margot.
Yerevan. Hello.
Margot.
How are you?
Oh, I think Andre knows who you are.
No, I don't know any Margos.
Okay. So
Andre, I have only one question to you.
Okay.
I'm very interested what kind of a drink lead singer of Beautified Project likes to drink.
Ooh,
For
good
example,
question.
my favorite drink is Pimps with cucumber.
Yeah.
I have only once tried Pimps in Yerevan, and it was without cucumber, and it was awful. I
Yeah.
want to know what's your favorite drink.
I think the reason your pimps didn't have cucumber in it was because I prepared it.
okay, what's going on here?
And thank you for taking a revenge on a live show. My favorite drink is either Jack Daniels. This is not promotion, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
or freshly brewed beer. So you can order it till I come and join you.
Okay. Okay,
Should
Margot.
I order it?
Margot, go ahead and just order the
Margot, tell us your real name.
coldest beer.
Andre, then I'm inviting you for a beer in an hour.
Okay.
Okay, where? Where at? Can we join?
Saryan Street.
Is Ara joining?
Ara is joining, and I think Ina can also join us.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Perfect,
you,
but-
Margushjan.
Somewhere open and no smoky, please. Thank you.
It's open and smoking.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll call you.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks for
bye-bye.
your
Thanks,
call.
Margot.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I was actually the only person who had Pimm's, the drink. And Shushan found me.
Okay, that's Shushan.
Yes, yeah.
Was that the joke of the day?
Yeah, I was actually worried she's gonna call and do something, but it was pretty mellow.
That was tame. Yeah, that was good.
Okay, I think we're gonna listen right now to Some Promised Hope by the Beautified Project, and we'll come back to the
story.
history, to the story
Okay.
of the song. So, Irene, we haven't forgotten about your question. Stay tuned and listen to us. We are still here till 11 o'clock. Oh my goodness, we have a caller, but after the music break.
Call back in like 15 minutes.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's all over. She hasn't got a clue what's going on.
What's going on here in our studio? The telephone is ringing and ringing all the time, and we were gonna ask Andre our own questions, but I think we don't get the chance because hello.
Hello? Is there anybody out there?
Ooh, that was sexy.
Okay, the silence is really promising, but sorry, we're hanging
The
up.
silence is killing me.
Yeah, the silence is killing us. And okay, Andre Jan, before anybody calls, can I ask you this question about 2013? You got an award, Ambassadors of Armenia. What's it like having that responsibility?
Yeah, being an ambassador.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was because in 2011 and 12 we got 2 of our songs went on MTV, and we got a documentary made by BBC. That's why I think we got that award.
Oh, this is great.
Hello.
This is awesome. Okay, and one more time. Last try. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening. Radio Van is listening. American in Yerevan. Talk. Do not be shy. Okay. Okay. Never mind.
Try again.
Yes, Andre John. So this is why you got the. Could we speak about your awards a little bit, and also about any? Well, first of all, let's speak about any upcoming event, upcoming live concerts here in Armenia, or
Yeah, we're not planning any concerts till we release our 4th album, because our guitarist is getting married and we're in the studio.
Oh, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
And headphones on. We're going to try this 3rd time's the charm, right?
hello, your last chance. Hello.
Hello? No luck.
No luck.
I can see dead people.
Andre, they're trying, to
Yeah.
get through something. Maybe we have some technical issues. I don't know. Okay, so
So we got
So you
that,
have a
and then we
wedding.
got a national award, which was a big deal for me, because to win a national award in my country, it's a great thing. But a few months ago, we won an international rock music award in Tbilisi, where regional bands were taking part. It's called Phoenix Music Awards, and it's one of my favorite award statues. It's amazing. It's a metal phoenix.
does that have any
half-frosted.
connection with Eurovision Song Contest?
No, I hope it never gets any connection with
With Conchita's Phoenix.
Oh, that. No,
Oh, that's a joke, of course.
Yeah. I like that song, though. It's a great song. Rise like a phoenix.
You like the lyrics or both?
I
music
like
and
the
lyrics?
performance, too. I think she has a great voice.
Who are we
She?
talking about?
Conchita.
Oh, Conchita, yes.
Yeah.
And what about you walking along the street, for instance, in Yerevan?
Yeah.
You're famous.
Yeah, you're
How far do you get before you're bombarded?
It depends what time I go out. I try to avoid 1 to 2 p.m. and
lunchtime.
and I would never walk on Northern Avenue between like 7 and 9. But apart from that, I'm okay. I get approached like 2 or 3 times. That's fine.
Oh, come on. Andre is so modest. Have you noticed?
Yeah, very modest.
I am so
Very
humble.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all those fans, remember, don't go onto Northern Avenue and take a break between 1 and 2.
Take a lunch break. Have you? Do you have any stories? Because you travel a lot. You've had lots of tours.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this is really cool. It makes us feel proud.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
are
Yeah,
there any
it's
stories,
it's
funny,
funny.
maybe?
It's funny how life turns out to be, because um, I am the most relaxed person. I like to, be at in my comfort zone.
Uh-huh.
But it's funny because once we were traveling, we finished our European tour, and our flight was via Ukraine, and the girl who checked in our bags in Vienna, she said, you need to go out at the airport in Ukraine, take your bags and check them in again. I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, of course. Okay, maybe it's a new law or something. So we go there, we try to go out. This woman who's the border control, she called somebody, and two military soldiers approach us and they take us. They're like, come with us. We're like, why? What have we done?
Oh.
So they take us to a separate room, and their boss comes, and he's like,
I need an autograph.
Why were you? Why were you trying to get out of the airport? You are on transit. We're like, because they told us
She
to,
told you so.
get our bags, and and he's like, no, you're transit. You shouldn't get out. What's your plan? And we're like, because we were like four bearded guys,
Yeah.
And he's like, so what do you do and stuff? So I opened the YouTube. I showed them some music videos. And he got out of his room, started shouting at his staff, like, why did you stop this guy? So that was a funny story. We were there for an hour in this little room waiting.
Waiting for nothing.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, it was a sad story.
Do you
wasn't it?
listen to your own songs when you're in a car, for instance, driving? Or do you have your favorite stuff you would like to listen?
No, I don't. But the other day I was bored on the plane, and I listened to the whole first album we did 10 years ago, because it was interesting for me how I would hear it now after 10 years. And it was an interesting listen, because I really hadn't listened to the
compare?
whole album for so many years. So I was like, oh, that was pretty good for, young kids like us.
Good
See,
job.
I'm
We
not
did a
that
good
modest.
job. Well, at least something. Modesty. Well, you mentioned earlier that you hung out with Dido and Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Do you anyhow hang with System of a Down? Hang
Yeah,
out with them?
I've hung out with Bon Jovi, Bryan Adams. I've hung out with for 8 years. I was working with bands as a accountant. I didn't even have a band, so my job
The
was
musical
to
accountant.
my job was to bank all the money from T-shirts and
To count
CDs
the
and
notes.
stuff, and report it to the record label. And then the next day, this is a funny story. I would go to the bank with my torn jeans, like messy hair, stand in line with a lot of British ladies who are waiting to be served. And then I would take out thousands and thousands of pounds from my bag and put it there. And all these ladies would look at
Staring
each
at
other
you.
like, who's this, a drug dealer or
Right,
something?
a drug dealer is the first thing that would come to mind, right?
And then I would fill the forms and stuff very professionally. But I looked like a proper rocker with bleached red hair. Yeah.
I just pictured ladies' faces.
Yeah, like old
Standing
British
over there,
ladies.
yeah.
Hey, that's a bit too much for that guy.
I better go drink some tea. Well, Aunt Regan, it's time for you to maybe ask us a question, or just to tell us what you think about our show. How did you feel tonight? Because we're about done.
We're coming to an end now.
Yeah.
I would like to know what's the idea behind having a English program on Radio 1, and who are your listeners? Because when you contacted me and invited me, I was very surprised that there's Radio 1 has a English program.
That's a very good question.
Yeah, well,
I'd like these
it's
answers
a
as
long-
well.
Yeah, it's a long one. Well, it all started with our Stephen Oxner, who lives here. Well, lives here, and he has a an Armenian wife, and he lives here with his family. But he's an original American, and he has no Armenian roots at all. So he just started this program, English speaking program, by telling about all his funny experiences that he had in Armenia, like the cultural differences.
Yeah, the cultural
etc.
differences that he experiences,
And then
right?
soon I joined him, and we had this kind of like a dialogue, because I used to be an exchange student in the US, and then we started to make fun of each other. Oh, in America like this, in Armenia like that, and then excuse me, sharing a little bit of our own cultures about the stories. It's basically a cultural exchange with like in an informal format with jokes and musical breaks.
That's interesting. That's very good. And when you ran out of your own stories, you decided to invite guests.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we always have stories, because our stories are always connected somehow to either Armenian or American culture.
Social issues.
Social issues, traveling, I don't know, traditions, etc. So there's plenty of
Perfect.
Yeah, and even though it might be
material.
called an American in Yerevan, because it is just a cultural exchange, you don't have to be an American to come on this show. Everyone's welcome, with their own little opinion, as long as they speak English.
Yes, and regarding your question about who's listening to us, we have a lot of listeners, by the way, who are afraid or shy or don't dare to call, but they still listen to our show, and a lot of people who call to practice their English.
Yeah.
So we always encourage people to do that. But we're almost done with our time.
Thank you to all the callers, even the ones who were silent.
Yeah. And we're now here to say goodbye. And, well, thanks to our official sponsor, Mosaic Sky Bar and Restaurant, for being with us for 3 months. But it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
Yep. So stay tuned. Still listen to Radio Van. Thank you, Andre, for being with us tonight. We had a really cool time with you.
Me too.
And hope this is not the last one. And we'll come back, hopefully, in September.
With a guitar.
Yeah.
Have a great summer, y'all.